highs with the lowest lows. That's like these days. World chained up, he on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways. I just pray that he find God now. It's no replay. On my way up to the top now. That's on me, ayy. The highs with the lowest lows. That's like these days. World chained up, he on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways.
What is going on, everyone? We are going to be doing an install today. So I bought this winch. This is a X-bull 10,000 pound winch. It's from Amazon and it was only $300. It has pretty much everything that you want in a winch. It's got the wireless remote, got the synthetic line, it has the aluminum fair lead, and all the bells and whistles. And it actually had some good reviews on Amazon. So I figured, I'll do an unboxing of it and we will throw it on the truck and get the full install on video. We're going to be putting it on my flatbed Tacoma right here. I don't know if y'all have seen this truck already yet or not. I have a video on it, but this is a project that I've been working on. I built that flatbed in the back. I'm still working on it, but we have an all-pro off-road bumper with the winch plate, and we are going to be mounting the winch up there. Nothing crazy, but yeah, it's going to be pretty sweet because I have my red D-rings, and the synthetic line on the winch is actually going to be red as well, so it should match pretty nice. I'm excited. Let's get started. Alright, so right off the bat, the box was damaged. I don't know, this is a heavy box. I'm sure the Amazon driver really didn't care. Let's get this thing moving. Here we have on top, we have our instructions, little piece of webbing. I guess this goes on the hook in the front, negative terminal. It's a nice hook actually. Check that out. That is sweet. It's cool. It has like a rugged look to it. Powder coated, and our mounting hardware, and there is the winch itself. Okay. We have our controller box right here. X-bull 4-wheel drive. Everything seems to be intact from what I can tell. And this is the wireless remote, pretty simple. Out, in, and power. And here's the wired remote. Put this down. Trash. Here is our fair lead. Man, that is nice. That is actually pretty well built. It's got a nice finish to it. I'm liking this so far. Okay. And here is the winch itself. Everything looks good on it. Finish is nice, there's no damage to it. Looks good. This is actually really nice. I'm surprised. So let's take this winch out, take everything out, and go over everything. Spread out and organized on our Rubbermaid work table. We have the controller box, we have the wireless remote, the wired remote, the winch itself, the fair lead, the hook, the instructions, the ground cable, and the mounting hardware. What we're going to need to install this is the number 2 Phillips screwdriver. That's going to be to mount the box onto the winch. We have a 13mm socket. That's going to be to run the wiring from the box to the winch. And we have a 5/8 socket. That's going to be to mount the winch to the bumper. First thing I'm going to do is get this hood popped and disconnect the battery. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get these square nuts. There's 4 of them. They go on each corner of the winch mount, and you want to slide those in before you put the winch on, because it'll be a kind of a pain in the you-know-what to put them on after you put the winch on the bumper. Okay, now that we have our 4 nuts on, what we're going to do is we're going to mount the controller box onto the winch. So basically, all you do is mount it on there. It has these hooks on the front that wrap around this edge, and then on this edge you can see it has these 2 screws at the Phillips head, and you're going to tighten those down. That's what's going to keep it in place. Going to get everything centered and then just tighten these down. I'm doing it by hand. I don't want to use a drill because I don't want to strip anything out. And tighten both sides. Just get them snug. You don't have to really torque this down. You know, it's not load bearing or anything like that. It's literally just keeping this box in place. So the instructions actually call for you to drill a pilot hole to put these screws into, but I'm not going to do that. Basically all I did was tighten the screws down, and I mean it's snug on there, you know, it's not moving at all. I can hit it and bounce it around, it won't move. So if you want to drill, go ahead, but I really don't feel like it's necessary. Now next, what we're going to be doing is attaching the wires from the solenoid to the solenoid box to the winch itself. These are marked, so you have a red one, a yellow one, and a black one. So obviously you just match the colors up and mount those on. This is the 13mm socket that you'll need. So it has a stud coming out of the winch and a couple of washers, a lock washer and a flat washer. So basically what I'm going to be doing is just take off that top nut. The bottom one needs to stay tight because that's what's keeping the stud right there. And then you just run your wire just like that. That. Then I'm going to slide these boots down over everything. That's going to leave a nice clean finish, and it'll virtually be weatherproof as well. Just give these a little push. They're really snug. Make sure it's covering everything. There it is. Now we are going to be putting the fear lead on. Obviously, the X-bull logo is going to be facing up. We have our 2 bolts. These are a 3/4 inch. So we're going to be putting the bolts through each side. And what we'll be using is a 3/4 inch wrench, a 3/4 inch socket. And we have our nuts right here for the opposite side. And the kit also did come with, let me show you guys, 2 lock washers. I'm going to be using those as well. So I'm going to be putting Okay, so now we're going to be putting the winch on. What I like to do is pull out some of the line. That way we can feed it through the fair lead and not have to mess with that. And then this is the long positive wire that goes to the battery. So I'm going to keep this up so it doesn't get in the way. You just want to take your time. These winches are heavy. You don't want to pinch your fingers or something like that. So you can see we got the positive wire. I'm going to stick that up here by the battery. And then this section of rope, I'm just going to feed that through the fair lead. Just like that. Okay, so now we are going to run our grounds. So we have this ground coming from the back of the solenoid box, and then we have the thick ground wire that's going to run to the battery. So if you look underneath the winch, there's a bolt and a nut right there, and that is actually where we're going to be running the grounds. So that is the ground, and we're going to run those wires up to the battery. So I'm going to do that really quick, and then we'll test this thing out. Okay, we got the grounds on now, as you can see underneath there. And I just have them ran on top. I haven't hid the wires or anything yet, but I got it all kind of snug on the battery. And we're gonna do a test run. So let's see how it works. Okay, so now we're gonna test this thing out. I'm just gonna use the wired controller and give it a test run. So this just plugs right into the top of the solenoid, just like that. And then we're going to engage the winch, kick that up, and let's try it. There we go, it works. Awesome. So now we can start making everything pretty. I'm gonna run the wires behind the radiator right there up to the battery, and then we'll put our grill on and we will bolt the winch onto the bumper and make things permanent. All right, there is the final product, y'all. It's a nice looking winch. It looks good on the truck. The red synthetic line really kind of shows it off. Yeah, we're back here in the woods behind my house. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna winch up to one of these trees and kind of just test this thing out under load. And we'll just see how it does pretty much. Okay, so to use the wireless remote, basically all you do is hold these two buttons together for 5 seconds, and then you'll see that red light flash and you're ready to go. I'm gonna free my spool, pull this out. Okay, so I have the winch engaged and the truck is in neutral. Let's see how it works. scenario or anything like that. You know, I was just pulling my truck in neutral. But I did it several times and I haven't had any problems. I think this is a pretty dependable winch. For the price of it, 300 bucks, you can't beat it. And it looks cool, it's easy to install, and I think it's worth the money, to be honest. Instead of, you know, spending $700-800 on a winch, if you're just looking for a budget one for a truck like this, you know, a project truck, or, you know, a truck where you're not going to be using your winch every day, it's a perfect winch. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed.